Welcome aboard the virtual ship with Fellowship Chicago. While we can't have church traditionally, we can still be the church consistently. New method, same message. New platform, same power. New season, same God. Now, let's go into our worship experience.
Good morning. My name is Quaylen from the Tweens Ministry. I'm excited to welcome you aboard the virtual ship. It is Fellowship Youth Takeover, and we are unapologetic and fearless. We pray that you are blessed today in a special way. Come enjoy worship with us.
Mr. Preacher Man, I don't want no trouble. I just came to praise and worship with my brothers, praying to the Lord and hoping He forgive us. I want God to save us, don't want the streets to kill us. I'm like Mr. Preacher Man, I don't want no trouble. I just came to praise and worship with my brothers, praying to the Lord and hoping He forgive us. I want God to save us, don't want the streets to kill us. I'm like Mr. Preacher Man, please don't be alarmed. We just come to pray, we don't mean no harm. I see how you're looking, of course we ain't perfect. We figured if we came to see Jesus it would be worth it. We live up the block, and I know you've seen us running from the cops. All this senseless killing, we won't get to stop. We want you to know, sir, if you don't let us in, we have no place to go, sir. Mr. Preacher Man, I don't want no trouble. I just came to praise and worship with my brothers, praying to the Lord and hoping He forgive us. I want God to save us, don't want the streets to kill us. I'm like Mr. Preacher Man, I don't want no trouble. I just came to praise and worship with my brothers, praying to the Lord and hoping He forgive us. I want God to save us, don't want the streets to kill us. I'm the preacher man, Bible in my hand. I'm so glad that you all came to church today, my friend. And yes, you all are welcomed as we seek His face. Here we like the organ, I know you like bass. That's okay, we love the same God. We may dress a little different, but love the same God. And our issues may be different, but love the same God. We want you to know, sir, that we will love you, not judge you, and want you to grow, sir. Mr. Preacher Man, I don't want no trouble. I just came to praise and worship with my brothers, praying to the Lord and hoping He forgive us. I want God to save us, don't want the streets to kill us. I'm like Mr. Preacher Man, I don't want no trouble. I just came to praise and worship with my brothers, praying to the Lord and hoping He forgive us. I want God to save us, don't want the streets to kill us.
When I think about Jesus, what He's done for me. When I think about Jesus, how He set me free, I just turn up, turn up, turn up. I can't help it, I can't help it, I can't help it, I can't help it. All this stuff I done dealt with, I can't help it, I can't help it. All this stuff I done dealt with, all this stuff I can't help it, I can't help it. Disrespect.
What's going on, family? Welcome aboard the virtual ship. I'm so excited that you have tuned in this Sunday to worship God in spirit and in truth with us. Wherever you are today, aren't you glad to be alive? Hadn't God been good to you? I mean, aren't you feeling the residue of his mercies on you? Because they're new every morning. Wherever you are, can you take 10 seconds and give God your best praise? Because this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. There's another scripture that says, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Somebody take a few minutes before we get started to just say so. Tell God thank you. Tell God I love you. Tell God I appreciate you. Tell God I can't make it without you. Wherever you are this morning, just open your mouth and bless him. Come on, open your mouth and bless him. And then, since we're here on the virtual ship, let's put our hands together and sing a little bit of this song that means so much. All of my life, you remain the same. Wonderful is your name. All of my life, you remain the same. Wonderful is your. Come on, one more time. All of my life, you remain the same. Wonderful is your name. All of my life, hey, you remain the same. Wonderful is. What did he do? What did he do? What else did he do? And he wasn't finished. And then he did one more thing. I'm glad your love and wonderful, wonderful, wonderful is. Come on, one more time. You woke me up this morning. You woke me up this morning. Started me on my way. Put food on my table. Brought joy. I'm glad. Your love has never changed. And wonderful. Wonderful. Now right there in your kitchen, come on, put them together. Come on, come on, come on. If you got hands, use them. And act like the devil's in the middle and you just... Come on. Clap your hands, oh ye people. Shout unto God with the voice of triumph. Hey, before I get too excited, let me tell you something real good. Today is Youth Day. Can you make some noise for all the youth who are connected to Fellowship Chicago? I know you have some youth in your family, and we are praying that this worship service would bless them. I'm going to get out the way because they're running everything today. The only thing I'm going to come back and do is preach and maybe sing 3 lines of a little song. But other than that, the youth got it today. So I cannot wait to see how God is working and moving through them. Enjoy this worship service. I'll be back soon. Peace, peace.
I have had it up to here. They are always killing us. I begin to think about the killings, and I think to myself, when will it stop? When will these killings stop? Sometimes I feel like killing myself.
Girl, what are you talking about? Why are you screaming at the top of your voice? Why are you so upset? Every day you come in here about something. What happened at school? Why are you so angry? You need Jesus.
You don't understand. You will never understand.
What do you mean I don't understand? Every day you come here complaining about something. Can't you be happy just one day? Can you come to this house just one day? You go into your room, you are slamming doors. You come out of your room, you're still slamming doors. Will there be any day that you can act normal? Be happy, not be so angry?
Mama, you don't understand. You are too old to understand. I can't talk to you.
Why can't you talk to me? I am always asking, what is wrong? I ask, is it your school? Is someone at school bothering you? I asked, did your dad say something to you? What? What did he say? I told you to stop listening to him because he's always filling your head with mess. I told you to stop going over there anyways because whenever you're around him, you seem to have an attitude.
See, you just don't get it. I will never be able to share anything with you. It's not anything about what my dad said.
Hey, Ma, what that Janetta going off again? What is it now?
Boy, I don't know, but you should know you are both alike.
No, I'm not. I don't know that alien. Frankly, I don't know where she came from. Are you sure she's your child? Because I served notice today. She's not my sister, and I don't know whose sister she is.
Boy,
I'm gonna remember that.
Boy, you need to stop. Yes, she's your sister, and yes, I have both of you.
Breaking news. Martin Jackson here on the south side of Chicago. Another black man shot, killed while running away from the police.
No, this the 5th black man shot and killed this week. It is so much violence in this world. Jesus, heal the world. Lord, come down and protect these young men today.
What happened now?
The police killed another black man. It's open season on the black man.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Thank you, Marcus. I feel the same way. Every time we're riding the bus, or you turn on the TV, you hear about somebody getting shot. You in class, you hear about somebody getting shot. When will it stop? Everybody is constantly talking about the killings at school. One of my teachers even had the nerve to say, why don't you kids just get it and stop getting yourselves killed? Like it's our fault.
What? Stop lying. Your teacher said what?
No, it's the truth.
Well, what did you say?
I couldn't say anything because if I said something, I would have said the wrong thing. Then I would have got suspended from school. All I said was, really? Are you serious? You have the audacity to blame us for the killings that the police are deliberately doing to our black men.
You all just have to pray and ask God to protect our men.
Marcus, can you believe her? The answer is always pray. That's her go-to.
Why are you so angry, Janetta?
Yeah, why are you so angry? We can't go talk to you before you go flying out the handle like you always do.
I'm with Marcus. I can't talk to you before you go biting my head off. I think it's your dad who is bothering you, filling your head with mess.
Why do you feel so powerful when you start throwing my father under the bus? Why do you think every time I express myself and I'm telling you that I'm angry and I'm telling you that I'm frustrated that you think it's my dad? Then you turn around and tell me that I need to pray. Do you know what's happening in this world? Do you know that we're in the middle of a pandemic? Do you know how many black men have been killed in this year alone? Do you get it?
Why are you getting angry for? You act like it's mama's fault that we had this COVID. You act like everything that happened is her fault, even though it kind of is.
No, Marcus, that's all right. You don't have to defend me. Janetta, you should get on your knees and pray. Ask God to handle this and stop being so angry. You need to be sorry. You just need to pray.
Stop it. Just stop it. I am sick and tired of you telling me that I need to pray. I am so angry right now. Why won't you let me be angry? I have this burning inside of me and it won't go away.
Hey, mama, can I go out?
No, boy. Your sister just said we are in a pandemic and the virus is out there.
But I'm just going down the street to the store. Jeanette can go to school. I'm not in school. I literally need to get out of this house. Come on, mama. You know I'm your favorite child, even though you say I have a sister. But who really knows if she's your child? But I literally need to get out of this house.
Go on, boy. Come right back from the store.
All right, I will.
Who is it? I said, who is it? Why are you knocking on my door so hard? Have you lost your ever-loving mind?
It's Roxy.
Girl, what's wrong with you? Come in.
Miss Smith! Miss Smith! You gotta come out! You gotta come out!
Come, what are you talking about, girl? Come where?
Roxy, what's all that noise? What's wrong? Why are you screaming? Why are you here?
It's Marcus! It's Marcus!
What do you mean it's Marcus?
I can't say it.
Say what, child? What is wrong? Where's Marcus?
Marcus, he got shot. He got shot by the police.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, no. Where's Marcus? Please, Roxy, take me to him.
They've killed my brother. He wasn't doing anything except going to the store. They've killed my brother. My only brother is dead.
I will never apologize for being who I am. They say they will take care of us. They say, don't worry, everything is going to be all right. They say, go to school, get an education, go to college, you can be somebody. They say, pray and God will take care of you. They say they didn't know any better, to the police. They say they didn't mean to do it. They say he must have been doing something wrong. They say, why are you so angry? They say, why are you so negative about so many things? And I say, I have a right to be angry. I have a right to be mad. I have a right to be hurt, and I have a right to be sad. For the Michael Browns, the Breonna Taylors, the George Floyds, the Dante Wrights, and the Ma'Khia Bryants of the world, Black lives do matter. I will not apologize for who I am. I will not be silenced for what I believe. I will not go about my daily routine smiling when people approach me. I am unapologetic. I don't have to accept this. I don't have to change the way I feel. I am Black and I am proud. I am entitled to feel the way I feel. I am unapologetic.
My brother laid in the street, dead, because someone did not value his life. Instead, they decide to take it. I know that God is real. I know that God is there for me. But why, God? Why, God, I ask, why did you let this happen to my brother? Why are so many people being killed? Why are we dealing with the pandemic? Why are so many of my friends turning to pills like perks? I don't have the answers. I go crazy thinking about them. But one thing I do know is that I can't apologize for how I feel. For now, I can only say that I have the right to be unapologetic.
Today, we are excited to welcome some family members of the ship, Phelan Feaster, who is being accompanied on piano by his father, Philip Feaster. Now, because Phelan is singing this song in Italian, let me break down what's going on for you. This performance is all about Si vuol ballare, which translates to If You Want to Dance. This song is an aria from the first act of the opera The Marriage of Figaro by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. In the aria, Figaro is upset because the king has ordered that he will be with any woman in the kingdom before she gets married, including Figaro's woman. Fellowship, let's show some virtual love to Phelan Feaster.
Se vuol ballare, signor continuo. Se vuol ballare, signor continuo. il chitarrino le suonerò, il chitarrino le suonerò, sì, le suonerò, sì, le suonerò. Se vuol venire nella mia scuola, la capriola l'insegnerò. Se vuol venire nella mia scuola, la capriola l'insegnerò, sì, l'insegnerò, sì, l'insegnerò. Saprò, 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 ma piano, 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 piano. Meglio arcano dissimulando, scoprir potrò. L'arte charmando, l'arte adoprando, di qua pungendo, di là scarsando, tutte le macchine rovescerò, rovescerò. L'arte charmando, l'arte adoprando, di qua pungendo, di là scarsando, tutte le macchine rovescerò, tutte le macchine rovescerò, tutte le macchine rovescerò, rovescerò, rovescerò. Se vuol ballare, signor contino, se vuol ballare, signor contino, il chitarrino le suonerò, il chitarrino le suonerò, sì, le suonerò, sì, le suonerò.
Happy Sunday, Fellowship. My name is Grace Harris Jarman, and this is your weekly edition of FNN Fellowship News Network. We are gearing up to reopen our weekly soup kitchen, and we are looking for volunteers. If you have the passion to assist with serving hot meals to those in need and are available on Thursdays during the day, then we are looking for you. Email us at communitytable@fellowshipchicago.com today. Our Peacekeepers Security Ministry is looking for new members. They are responsible for securing our building during worship services and events. If you are interested, please email security@fellowshipchicago.com to get more information. As we continue to shift gears in 2021, Fellowship Bible Academy will launch a series of classes this summer, Wednesday, August 4th through Wednesday, September 1st, 2021, from 6:30 to 8 p.m. weekly. Instructors will host all classes virtually via Zoom. Visit www.fellowshipchicago.com for more information and to register today. During this month of July, some of our ministries will be taking a sabbatical to rest up, relax, and recharge for the second half of the year. If you have any specific ministry-related questions or concerns, contact Damian Martin at dmartin@fellowshipchicago.com. Now we have some special announcements for you. Check them out.
Fellowship Chicago presents Summertime Shy Worship Vibes.
Every Sunday in August, we're welcoming guest speakers to the ship.
This is a power pack, don't miss event.
Featuring Dr. Charles Goodman.
Ehud teaches us it's not just that you gotta be different, you gotta think different.
Dr. Danielle Brown.
That we serve a God who sits high, that we serve a God who looks low, a God who is concerned about every aspect of your life.
Reverend Robert Ty Jones.
I know what the Lord can do. I know what the Lord can do.
Elder Marissa Farrow.
I dare you lay your hands on yourself and declare, I'm not going to break down, but I'm going to break through.
Dr. Freddie Haynes.
You better recognize it's time for you to find and use your voice. Why? Because the stage has already been set for you.
And hosted by our very own Pastor Reginald W. Sharpe Jr. Summertime Shy Worship Vibes.
Make plans now and tell your friends and family.
Every Sunday in August.
Streaming Sundays at 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and fellowshipchicago.com.
Summertime Shy Worship Vibes.
Don't miss it.
Hey, what's going on, family? I'm so grateful that you are aboard the virtual ship with us this Sunday. There are two quick things that I need to drop on you. My grandma used to say, I'm going to put a bug in your ear. The bug I need to put in your ear is simply this. The installation is coming up, and I know some of you have heard me say that we're reserving some seats for our senior members who don't know how to access the registration online. That does not mean that all seniors just show up the day of. I need you to call the church and make sure your seat is secured, because even those seats are limited. I know everybody doesn't understand WWW. I get that. But please, Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m., all of our senior members who are having an issue with registering or reserving a seat for any of the installation services, you must call the church to make sure that seat is reserved. I love you for real, and I don't want you outside stuck and mad, feeling some kind of way because you thought the seniors just automatically had a seat. No. Please call it to the church and we'll reserve it for you. Secondly, I'm so excited. I have not baptized anybody since February 2020. But on July 31st at 11 a.m., we're going over to Fuller Park, right across the street, and we're having a fellowship community day in Fuller Park. I'm baptizing. We're going to have games for the children. There will be food. There will be an opportunity for you to receive a vaccination. For some of you who've been dragging your feet, excited about getting into the sanctuary but haven't gotten a shot in your arm, hey, you could do it all in one place. July 31st, 11 a.m. Pull up to the church, walk across the street at Fuller Park. I cannot wait. We're having a baptism service that will be epic. You've never seen anything like this, and it's going to be one of a kind. We're going to do that to be a blessing to our community and for us to honor God for adding souls back to the church, even through a pandemic. Wherever you are, can you help me thank God for growing the church even through a pandemic? People have been saved. People have come to know Jesus Christ. We celebrate that. So meet us here July 31st at 11 a.m. Fuller Park Community Day is going down like four flats in the rain. I can't wait to see you. Peace.
That's a wrap for this week's edition of FNN. Please check out the church's website and social media pages for these announcements and more. For real-time updates, text Fellowship Chicago, one word, to 55949. Have a great week. Fellowship family, we are so happy to have this amazing guest artist with us today who is unapologetically fearless in spreading the good news of Jesus Christ. Fellowship, please help me in welcoming to the ship for the very first time, the Judah Band.
Fellowship Church, it's time to get it in. Pastor Sharpe, thanks for having us. Look, it's time to lift them up. Wherever you are, make some noise. Everybody just clap those hands like this. Oh yeah, look. Now everybody put those hands up. Yeah. Put your hands up. Yeah. Everybody put your hands up. Yeah. I can see you. I can see you. Put your hands up. Yeah. everything. And we lift our hearts and say, I just want to be where you are. 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 I just got to be where you are. I just want to be where you are. I just want to be where you are. I just want to be where you are. Say, Lord, your presence is beautiful. Hey, whoa, yeah. Reveal to us mysteries untold. And Lord, we'll listen as you speak. Hey. One word from you. Just one word, Lord. Change everything. And we lift our hearts and say, I just want to be where you are. 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 I just got to be where you are. I just want to be where you are. I just want to be where you. Here we go. Everybody just clap and sing. That is where I find my joy. And pleasures forevermore. That is where I find my peace. In the presence of the day. Yeah. In the presence of the Lord, there is fullness of joy, and at his right hand, pleasures forevermore. Yeah. In the presence of the Lord, there is fullness of joy, and at his right hand, pleasures forevermore. Can you lift it up and say it? In the presence of the Lord, there's fullness of joy. Yeah. Everything we need we find. In the presence of the Lord, there is fullness of joy. Let's lift it up in threes and say, we need your presence. There's fullness of joy. Everything we need we find. In the presence of the Lord, there is fullness of joy. Say, pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. We can find your peace. We can find your peace. Pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. Clap those hands in it. Clap those hands in it. Clap those hands in it. Pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. Dare you to believe that it is right hand pleasure. Pleasures forevermore. When I see Jesus, say pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. Make some noise right where you are. Wait, I don't deserve it. I am not worthy. Look, in spite of my failures, you always come through. You can't tell me what I'm and I think things over. You say, we say, he's never failed me. Made a way before. That's what he does. That's who he is. Hey, he'll keep making a way. Hey, that's what he does. That's who he is. He'll keep making a way. Everybody sing it with us. Say, He made a way. And I'm glad about it. He made a way. Made a way. When there was no way. There was no way. Jesus. Hey! It was over and over. And He'll keep making a way. It was over and over. And He'll keep making a way. Every time I turn around and over, and He'll keep making a way. Said over. He'll keep making a way. He'll keep making a way. Every time I needed Him, He'll keep making a way. Every time I call His name, He'll keep making a way. He'll keep making a way. He's the way maker. He's the way maker. He's the way maker.
Hey, Fellowship family, can you help me one more time show some love to our youth today? This is Youth Day. It's Youth Weekend 2021, and I am just so proud of the youth at Fellowship Chicago. It just didn't become this way since I got here. The youth at Fellowship always mesmerized me. I mean, we have so many gifted young people who are going to be trailblazers, trendsetters, entrepreneurs, graduates of colleges. Come on, I see doctors and lawyers and teachers and preachers and poets when I look out at the youth of Fellowship Chicago. And I want to say thank you, not just for today, but all the way through the pandemic. Hadn't it been refreshing to see our youth and our children helping to lead the worship service? Come on, you just helped me thank God for them, and I'm grateful for them today. And, you know, I don't know if I'm cool enough to be a part of this youth day, but since they let me preach today, I'm so grateful to be a part. So let me be a pastor for 1 second and let you know it's giving time on the virtual ship. Come on, it's giving time. And we are always grateful to give to the God that has given us everything. I'm so glad I don't pastor church where I have to convince people to give. No, we believe the word of God. If you give, it's coming back how? Good measure, pressed down, what? Shaken together, and then what? Running over. The Message Bible says God will make people pour blessings in your lap. You won't even have to fight over your blessings. God will send it right to your address and land it in your lap. So look at these 7 ways to give. I want to thank you for your generosity all year long. Thank you for your consistency all year long. And don't stop. Get it, get it. Let's continue to sow. Let's continue to trust God. And let's continue to bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse. A dime out of every dollar belongs to God. And God says, if you take care of my business, I will take care of your business and open the window of heaven over your life. And you won't even have enough room to receive it. Is anybody that needs God to do a not enough room blessing? I want to run out of space till I have to share. My grandma used to say that all the time. She said, Lord, if you bless me, I promise I'll be a blessing to somebody else. And maybe that's why some of our blessings have been delayed. Can God trust you with a blessing? Oh, that's not the message today. I'm just throwing it out there. Always be able to be trusted. Let's sow and let's give to God. And I thank you in advance for how you would do that. God bless you. We are gearing up for the first Sunday in September. We're going to be back in the building on Sunday morning. We're going to be back in the sanctuary. Somebody ought to get a little louder than that. Let's thank God. And while this is a major pivot, it's a major transition, it's one that we're deciding and choosing to do cautiously and judiciously. We just don't want to open the door and say, come one, come all. Because the truth is, the numbers of vaccination in the African American community are still very, very low. All of us have a man in our life, a cousin in our life, who said, "Nah, they ain't gonna shoot me up. They ain't gonna put no machine in my body." The machine, bro. We talking about a vaccination. Now you drink to the end of the bottle, and now all of a sudden you wondering, "I don't want to put that in my body." Now you smoke and don't know what they put in the cigarillo, but all of a sudden you so worried about a vaccination. Somebody say this with me: get vaccinated. Research is saying right now that those who are vaccinated have a high chance, even if you get the virus. They're seeing that people with the vaccination are able to fight it better. And a lot of the people losing their lives now from the virus are not vaccinated. So please get vaccinated. I'm going to open up the doors on the first Sunday of September, but I'm encouraging you that if you're not vaccinated, stay home on the virtual ship. Stay home. And you sit right there in your couch and just clap and eat your frosted flakes. But we're opening the doors for people who are vaccinated. That's my preference. And we will have 2 services starting in September. At the top of 2022, we'll go back to 3 services. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We're celebrating Fellowship's 71st church anniversary in September. My installation is in September. And so we are having a time. More information is coming out. It's probably be shared even today during this worship service. But lest I get caught up with all those announcements, I'm excited to share this word that God has given me today. If you have your Bibles, come with me to Daniel chapter 4. I'm excited, y'all, because we are opening the doors for pre-registration to any of our services in the month of July. And y'all, it's 100+ people in Fellowship Chicago today. Can y'all show some love to all of our guests and friends that are in the building? Y'all, I'm so touched. We have friends all the way from Sacramento, California. Show some love to them. We have friends all the way from Detroit. Show some love to them. We have friends all the way from Louisiana, where they know how to cook down there. Amen. I'm talking about a crab boil. I'm talking about crawfish. I'm talking about seafood gumbo. Ah, thank you, Lord. I'm talking about crab fingers and char-grilled oysters. Thank you, Lord. I feel you right there. Can't wait to get back to New Orleans. I'm coming down there. I'm coming down there. But we're so grateful. And then all of you who are members, some have just been itching. I can't wait to get back in the house. Well, you're in the house, and let's give God praise for bringing us this far. Daniel chapter 4. Daniel chapter 4. And I just want to read one verse into your hearing. I want to read one verse, but I might have to read a few, but just walk with me. Daniel chapter 4, verse 27, and I'm going to stop around verse 31, 32. I'm in the Message Bible today. This Bible makes everything just more palatable, more understandable, and with it being Youth Day, I really want to press a point home, not just to the youth, because you'll discover as soon as I get started, this is not just for young people. This is for anybody who calls himself a Christian. If you're in the building, would you join us in standing in honor of God's word? If you're out of the building, just keep sitting like you've been sitting the whole pandemic. Daniel chapter 4, verse 27 through 31. King James Version reads like this, but follow along in whatever version you have. So King, this is Daniel talking to King Nebuchadnezzar after he's asked to interpret a dream. He says, so King, take my advice. Make a clean break with your sins and start living for others. Quit your wicked life and look after the needs of the down and out. Then you will continue to have a good life. Verse 28. All this happened to King Nebuchadnezzar. Just 12 months later, he was walking on the balcony of the royal palace in Babylon and boasted, bragging, prideful. Look at this. Babylon the Great. And I built it all by myself. A royal palace adequate to display my honor and my glory. The words were no sooner out of his mouth than a voice out of heaven spoke. This is the verdict on you, King Nebuchadnezzar. Your kingdom is taken from you. You will be driven out of human company and live with wild animals. Thank you. That's enough. You might be seated. You might be seated. Hey, y'all, we have been vibing through this summer playlist. And I hope you've been blessed by these songs that God has given me to bring some spiritual wisdom out of the songs in the culture. And today is no different. Today's song is by J. Cole. I know all my saved, super duper holy people. You say, J, who? J. Cole. J. Cole. J. Cole. C-O-L-E. And the song that God has laid on my heart today is Pride is the Devil.
Inhaling poverty, pride make you feel a way that you won't follow me. Make it flash 1,000 like you hit the lottery. Make a baby mama make shit harder than it gotta be. Make you have to take the court to see a prodigy. Make you have to use your last resort and pull a robbery. Pride be the reason for the family dichotomy. Got uncles and some aunties that's too proud to give apology. Slowly realizing what the root of all my problems be. It got me feeling different when somebody said they proud of me. Pride is the devil.
Come on, say that with me. Pride is the devil. I absolutely respect J. Cole because he is one of the rappers that comes out of what I talked about back in June. He comes out of the protest rap tradition. He comes out of the conscious rap tradition. He comes out of the tradition where words still matter in songs. Because the truth is, some of this hip-hop music has been commodified, and now making money means more than the message. You remember me saying that a few weeks ago, that J. Cole is one of the few artists out, I believe, that still focuses on the content of what he's saying so that his words matter. His words are touching the culture. And then there's some people who say that, and I've heard them say it to me over the last few weeks, I'm with you on joy and pain. I'm with you on there's hope. I'm with you, but I just can't get with this hip hop. I just can't stand it. I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. And I need to remind you, go back and listen to A Hell of a Year. That's a sermon. I'm not just cussing just to cuss. It was a sermon I preached earlier in the month of June. Go listen to where hip hop comes from. There's a reason it's so raw. There's a reason it's so real. And instead of you just dismissing it because they cuss, understand this: cussing usually is a sign of pain. So out of the black community, out of these brown and black communities is a pain living in the inner city. It's painful living in poverty. It's painful when you don't know if you see blue lights behind you, if you will ever live to see another day. So out of that pain, there's sometimes cuss words show up. And then there's some songs where cussing is absolutely not necessary. But to make money, it's going to sell. But there are times like in J. Cole's song, because if some of y'all might play this and listen to it, and you're going to say, oh, Lord, I can't believe the man of God had this song on the playlist, and they saying this word and that word. Don't miss the message just because it's not your flavor. Because watch this, truth can show up even when it's not your taste. It may not be your taste, but it's still truth in it. I love this song. It's off of his off-season album, and even that will preach, because every athlete knows that in between seasons, there's a period called off-season, and the off-season is never for you just to sit down, eat ice cream, and prop your feet up and watch Netflix and Hulu. No, the off-season is for training. The off-season is for preparation, and I didn't even mean to say this, but I feel a Gmail from heaven entering into my spiritual inbox, and I need to tell you, when you are in an off season, embrace it like an off season. Too fast. When you're in an off season and everything is feeling off and looking off and you can't find your groove or your vibe, embrace it as an off season, a time for preparation and a time for training and a time for you to get stronger. So when the ball is thrown back in your hands, when the season begins again, you will be ready. You will have the dexterity. You will have the strength. You will have the ingenuity to focus in season because you were wise in your off season. Doesn't the Bible say something about be instant in season and out of season? I love this album called Off Season, and on the album is one of my favorite songs called Pride is the Devil. Listen to these words, and I'll skip over the ones that will make you cringe. I'll do my best. J. Cole said, pride is the devil. Yeah, terrified, paranoid. I'll put you over everything to fill the void, and when you're gone, will I have anything? He's talking about pride. Did you catch it? He said, I'm terrified, I'm paranoid. I'll put you, pride, over everything to fill the void. And when you're gone, will I have anything or will I be destroyed? He goes even deeper. Watch this. Pride make a brother act way harder than he really be. Pride hide the shame when the city cut off all utilities. Pride hide the pain of growing up in hell and poverty. Pride make a brother feel the way that you would follow me. Make a brother flash 1,000 like he hit the lottery. Make a baby mama make stuff harder than it gotta be. Make you have to take the woman to court to see your prodigy. Make you have to use your last resort and pull a robbery. Pride be the reason for the family dichotomy. Got uncles and some aunties that's too proud to give apologies. Slowly realizing what the root of all my problems be, it got me feeling different when somebody say they proud of me. Pride is the devil. Y'all, if I don't preach anything else, he just preached. He's describing that pride is not literally the devil, but pride is as problematic and satanic as the devil. It messes up everything. Pride makes the young brother act harder than he really be. Pride makes you full of shame when your utilities get cut off. Pride makes you try to hide the pain of growing up in hell and poverty. And so it's so many young people who are in pain, in shame from not having enough resources. And here comes pride trying to make them appear like they're more than they are. That's why they put all their emphasis a lot of times on what your shoes are, what your clothes are, what name brand you have. Why are you buying a $60 hat to put on a 10-cent brain? Why are you buying $270 shoes walking in the wrong direction? Because pride make you do that. Pride will make you get on social media and flash money like you won the lottery. Watch this. I can't use the word he used, but pride make a baby mama make stuff harder than it gotta be. Make you have to take folk to court just to see your prodigy, just to see my children. Make you have to use your last resort and pull a robbery. Pride be the reason for the family dichotomy. This is the line for me. Got uncles and some aunties that's too proud to give apologies. Okay, y'all ain't feeling me today. Because what I want to do is free somebody. I want to free somebody. I want to free somebody. Do you know what pride is? See, you got two types of pride. You got the pride of pleasure, and then you have pride that's problematic. See, the pride that's pleasure is when you have a sense of pleasure that comes from some act or possession, like parents take pride in their children because they take pleasure. They're pleased with their children. That's a type of pride where you are proud of something. You're proud of what you've been able to accomplish. That's a pleasurable pride. But then the problematic pride is this: a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements. The achievements of those with whom one is closely associated with, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. Don't miss this. It's when you overemphasize yourself. Pride is when you overemphasize yourself, when it's all about you, when you start thinking that life is all about you and nobody else matters. That is a sign that you are full of pride. And you would be surprised how many Christians who really do love God, but they are so prideful. And it's not just them, it's all of us. If you look in the mirror, you will see somebody who's wrestled with pride. If you look right beside you, look right beside you, look right beside you. You see that person sitting right beside you? Look at that person. That's somebody that's wrestled with pride. Do you see the person that's sitting in the seat that you're sitting in? That's somebody who's had an overemphasis on themselves when they forgot that it wasn't really all about them. St. Augustine, one of the early church fathers, put it like this. He said, pride is the love of one's own excellence. when you caught up in your own excellence. Proverbs 18:10 and 12 says this: the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as an high wall in his own conceit. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty and prideful, but before honor is humility. Did I say it too fast? Before destruction, the heart of a man is prideful, but before honor is humility. Meaning, if you're humble, you're on your way to honor. If you're prideful, you're on your way to destruction. Proverbs 16:18 puts it like this, makes it even more simple. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall. Here's the Message Bible of Proverbs 16:18. First pride, comma, then the crash. The bigger the ego, the harder the fall. And then Proverbs 6 talks about the 6 things that God hates. Proverbs 6:17. The first thing on the list is haughty eyes, King James Version says, or a proud look. I looked this up. What's haughty eyes? It means to look down on others. It means to look down your nose as if everybody else is beneath you. And this is on the list of the stuff God hates. Not just that, he hates a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood. All of those things God hates. Then it gets even deeper. 1 Peter 5:5-7. I'm on my way somewhere. Don't you go to sleep. Watch what the Bible says. Likewise, ye younger ones, submit yourselves to the elder. It means you need somebody older than you who can help you. We all need to be subject to one another, submit to one another, and be clothed in humility. This is 1 Peter 5:5-6. For God resists the proud, and he gives grace to the humble. I think this might be one of the most important sermons that I preached this year, because some of us are about to kill ourselves because we can't check our pride. I'm gonna get to the text in a minute, because I read for you a man who one day was so full of pride, he walked out on his kingdom, King Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon, and y'all heard what I said. He said, he walked out and said, look what I have built. And I built all of this for my glory and my honor. Look what I have done. Listen to this. A few years ago, I ran up on a message by Pastor Charles Stanley out of Atlanta. And in this message, he was dealing with the evidences of pride. He literally says that it shows up in ways that you least expect. And I'm gonna read to you the 14 things that he said are evidences of pride. And if you're taking notes, this is something I really need you to grasp, and if I step on your toe, just know I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. Number one, here's evidence of pride. You have to be number one. You always feel like you've got to be number one. Number two, you're continuously referring to yourself. No, you don't have any conversations when, somebody else can just have the floor, but you always got to bring that conversation back to you. So it's not just you always have to be number one. That's pride. Number two, you're continuously referring to yourself. Do y'all know anybody like that? Number three, you must be the center of attention. The loudest one at the table. You the only one got a story. You the only one that's lived. You the only one that's traveled, but you got to be the center of attention. That is an evidence that pride is at work in your life. It's this overemphasis on yourself. Number four, ignoring people who are less fortunate than you. You don't have no space to worry about nobody else, I go for mine. I got to shine. So throw your hands up in the sky. Me, myself, and I, that's all I got in the end. Pride. You don't care about nobody but yourself. And we see this, unfortunately, not just in young people, but that's some older folks that the young people learned it from. Number five, love places of prominence and love prominent seats. Oh, this is the church. Not fellowship, church down the street. This is the church. I got to sit in the front. I got to sit in a certain seat. When you walk in, if you're late, you too good to sit in the back. You got to go and get to the front Because that's your pride make you do. Number 6, dressing to draw attention. Ain't nothing wrong with you looking good. Nothing wrong if you're doing it for you. If you're doing it because this is how you feel. If this is how you want to express yourself. But when it becomes, I'm dressing to get attention. I'm dressing to prove I've got money. I'm dressing to show other people how it looks and how to do it right. And I want, when I wear this, I want to draw attention with this. That's prideful. To the point where right now somebody can't even hear my sermon because Sharpe is up there with skinny jeans on and his knee out. So you got some old school saints. I've talked to them. I like my pastor in a suit. I like my pastor in a robe. And I know some pastors wear robe and suit every Sunday and they gonna bust hell wide open when they die. Because it ain't about what you got on. It ain't about what's on you, it's about what's in you. And too many of us in the church, we get too caught up with what we got on. You done spend all your money just for one Sunday. You better put your jogging pants on and a clean t-shirt and come on up in here and enjoy Jesus. Chapter 7, not chapter 7. Here's another evidence of pride: seeking praise and compliments. Always seeking somebody to pat you on the back, always looking for a compliment. 8, a rebellious spirit. Oh, I mean, if everybody say go right, you go left. A rebellious spirit, that's a sign of pride. Here's another one: they refuse to do small tasks. No, they can't work the parking lot. No, I don't want to work the parking lot. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to be the usher at the front door. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work with the children ministry. I'm going to miss church. No, I don't want to serve with the youth. I'm going to miss church. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do something that's a big task. And the truth is, if you are too big to do something little, you too little to do something big. Did I say something right there? I think I did. If you too big to do something little, you too little to do something big. And I'm excited about us coming back in here. I'm excited. Come on, we coming back. The church coming back. First Sunday, September. Oh, we on the way back in here. But if you are on the way back in here and all you want to do is get in your seat and sit down, please stay at home. I need some folk that want to serve, that want to work, that want to grow. You weren't saved to sit. You were saved to serve. And it ain't just going to be the big stuff. It's got to be the little stuff too. I know a pastor that I talked to the other day, all his ministers mad at him. His choir was mad at him. He had to go save everybody. He had to go get everybody together. The choir was mad because he used the praise team in the pandemic. He said, I was trying to keep y'all from dying. And the ministers were mad. Y'all didn't use us. And the pastor said, well, it was a whole lot to do in the pandemic. We were feeding folk. Did you show up? We were visiting folk. Did you go visit? There were folk who needed prayer. Did you call anybody? I got 1,000 members. Did you call anybody personally to just check on them? While you looking for a microphone, God is wondering, do you really have a heart to serve? Help me preach in this house. Here's another one: rebellious spirit. You just want to do the big tasks, refuse to do the minimal tasks. Here's another one: sign of pride. It's difficult for you to be happy for the success of others. You think everybody else's win equals your loss. Oh, I knew y'all weren't going to say nothing today. I'm prepared. I got amens in all my pockets. And if I need one, I'm going to just reach for one. Number 11, you can't apologize. Stop. That's what J. Cole said in the song. Your family tore up, but you got too much pride to just tell somebody, I made a mistake. If you married and you got a problem apologizing, you're going to have a problem being married. If you're dating and you got a problem apologizing, I think you need to be single. If you are a leader and you can't apologize, I think you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because in this world, you got to learn how to admit when you've made a mistake. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. And then if you're the leader or the leader of that house or the leader of that organization and you model apology, it won't be so hard for the people that follow you to do the same. I'm trying to tell you right now, half of the stuff in our families that's tearing us apart is one or two people don't know how to admit they were wrong. I don't have to do no family conference. I just gave you a conference right there in 3 seconds. Pastor, can you pray for my family? No, y'all go and apologize. You ain't got to pray. Go sit down. And what did you say that you shouldn't have said? What did she say that she shouldn't have said? And everybody just get it on out, release it, do some apologizing, and move on. You don't need a 3-day conference to learn how to apologize. What you need is to check your pride. I'm trying to help somebody. Y'all ain't listening. Y'all sitting there looking at me. Tell somebody, learn how to apologize. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I was wrong. I made a mistake. I got ahead of myself. I know it was bad. I mean, even me, the pastor, with my silly self, I have to apologize all the time. Can I tell you a real story? Because I think this is helpful when you can see people. And so we doing this little stage stuff and creative. And there was one week, I tell all my business. There was one week when it wasn't up to par. You know, here at Fellowship, we teach that excellence is the floor, which means on our lowest days, we're going to still be excellent. It means that at our worst, we're at least going to be excellent. And I thought that one of the stage setups was not excellent. So I walk out and I look around. I said, man, well, this is quite pitiful. Okay, I need to be back in taming my tongue class, clearly, don't I? Because that was tactless. Because there was somebody, even though I didn't think it was excellent, somebody worked for that. Somebody put their time and their creativity and they put their money in setting up that. And I walk out and say, that's quite pitiful. Don't you know the next week I was apologizing all week long. I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it. And if I'm the man of God, if I'm the pastor, and I go back to my staff or go back to my members and say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. There was a better way to handle that. What? I knew that was going to be the rough one right there. I knew it. Number 12, here it is, the attitude of self-sufficiency. Let me talk to y'all who don't know how to work well with people. Let me talk to y'all who don't know how to delegate because you say, well, if I do it myself, then it'll be right. I don't trust nobody. I don't want, this the person that was in school who hated group projects. Just let me do it myself. I can do it, and I'm going to do, and now you're tired, you wore out, you can't sleep because you don't know how to humble yourself to work with somebody or how to teach somebody to do it how you like it done. That's pride. Y'all can be quiet. I'm going to keep talking. Number 13, can't stand criticism. Oh, no. Somebody tell you they thought it could have been a better way, a different way. You could have gone about it another way, and that thing just get in your heart, and it's like a knife. It just turns in your heart. Because when you can't take criticism or constructive critique or advice or you're not teachable, that's a sign of pride. Do you know anybody like that? Here's another one. Taking credit, 14th and the last one, taking credit for what God and others have done. That's pride. You're going to take credit for what God and others have done. Somebody say pride. Now, in the academy world, in school, we don't call that pride. We call that plagiarism. When you take credit for something you didn't write, and drop it in a paper just to take up space, because every student in the room know what I'm talking about. You just trying to get the paper done, so you drop 6 lines of a quote that ain't yours in the middle of the paper. And if you don't footnote it, it's called plagiarism. But if you drop a footnote to let somebody know where you got it from, everything's all right. They should have never taught me that. I fill up 2 pages full of footnotes. You see, only if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. But every time I come to church, I came to write a footnote. God did this. That house, God did that. This marriage, God did that. That blessing, God did. Somebody help me write a footnote today and tell God, I thank you for everything you've done. And can you not just praise God for what God has done? Can you take 10 seconds and praise God for the people that God has used to help you make it? Oh my God. It's a sad thing when you act like you made it by yourself. No, there was a grandmama praying for you. You had an auntie sending you money. You had a daddy who was there for you. Somebody open your mouth and say, God, I'm going to write a footnote right here. How'd you make it through a pandemic? God did that. How'd you get a job and a promotion in the middle of a pandemic? God did that. How did you graduate on Zoom classes? Can't sit in a classroom? God did that. How are you still in your right mind after everything that was on you this 16 months? God, I dare you to take a few minutes and just write a footnote. And if you want to know how to write it, let me teach you. If it had not been for the Lord on my side. Tell somebody, I can't be prideful. God's kept me. I can't be prideful. God bless me. I can't be prideful. Too many people gave me a chance. Tell God thank you. Somebody wonder what they doing. They getting loud. They standing up because we got to write some more footnotes. I remember Brother Delahaye in the hospital last year, and we both thought he wouldn't make it. We were preparing for the worst, but Brother Delahaye is still here. After 5 or 6 weeks on a ventilator, I need to write a footnote. Now unto him who's able to do exceeding. Somebody open your mouth. You were in a storm, but you survived it. You were low, but you got back up. Lost your job, but didn't miss a meal. Let's write a footnote. And my God shall supply all of my... Got cancer in your body, wrestling with your health, and you don't look like what you're going through. Let's write a footnote. He was wounded. I'm sorry. Tell 3 people, don't touch them. Check your pride. Tell 3 people, check your pride. Tell them, check your pride. Check your pride. Write it in the chat. Check your pride. How can you be arrogant? How can you afford to be full of yourself? As good as God been to you. This is what happened to King Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel chapter 4. Got the nerve to stand up one day and talk about, look what I built. Verse 27, Daniel went to him and told him, you need to get your life together, king. You need to get this straightened up. He ain't listen. All this happened, verse 28, verse 30. Give me 7 more minutes, I'm gonna be through. He walked out one day. Y'all don't believe me, I'm about to prove it to you. He walked out one day. And 12 months after Daniel told him to humble himself, take care of those who are in need, be faithful, and God will help you have a good life. Walked out, verse 28, put it on the screen. Just 12 months later, he was walking on the balcony of the royal palace in Babylon, and he boasted, look at this, Babylon the Great, and I built it all by myself. I built it all by myself. A royal palace adequate to display my honor and glory. You see, whenever your conversations got too much I, too much my, too much me, you're on your way to destruction. Because ain't that much I, me, and my in the world. No. Ain't that much I in the world. It's amazing to me that this is the center of pride because that's the center of the problem. The word pride has I in it. You know another word that got I in the middle? Sin. Whenever I mean more than God or others, pride is coming, and so is sin. Okay, So here's what happens. Here's what happens. Here's what happens. Can I keep reading? Can I keep reading? Can I read it? Here's what's going to happen. Look here. I did this. Look what I did. I, me, my. Verse 31, verse 32. The words were no sooner out of his mouth than a voice of heaven spoke. This is the verdict on you, King Nebuchadnezzar. Your kingdom is taken from you. You'll be driven out of human company, and you're going to live with wild animals. You will eat grass like an ox. The sentence is for 7 seasons, meaning 7 years. You will be eating grass like an animal for 7 years. You will be kicked out of this kingdom for 7 years. Enough time to learn, that the high God rules human kingdoms and puts whomever he wishes in charge. Verse 33, it happened all at once. Just as quick as he lost his mind, he also lost his kingdom. Nebuchadnezzar was driven out of human company, ate grass like an ox, and was soaked in heaven's dew, out in the rain. His hair grew like the feathers of an eagle. Can you see how messed up he's looking? And his nails, he needed a manicure real bad. His nails were like the claws of a hawk. His hair's growing like wild feathers of an eagle. His nails are like the claws of a hawk. He's wet, he's eating grass. Watch this. He lost his sanity, he lost his community, and he lost his prosperity all at once. He lost his sanity, he lost his community, and he lost his prosperity all at once. He lost his sanity, he lost his community, and he lost his prosperity all at once. It all happened in one verse. Verse 33. He lost his sanity. Say it with me if you got it. He lost his community, and he lost his prosperity. He lost his sanity, he lost his community, and he lost his prosperity. He lost his community, and he lost his, because that's what pride will do. Lean up a little bit. I'm almost done. Whenever pride takes over, you're very close to losing your mind. And whenever pride takes over, you're very close to losing your community. You wonder why everybody avoiding me, why my wife she don't get as warm as she used to when I first met her. She don't get warm like that. She used to get warm when I walk in the house, Sharpe. My wife used to love to see me when I show up. Now she cold. She got an icebox where her heart used to be. She got an icebox where her heart used to be. So cold. It's because you got so much pride that you're so full of yourself, you don't have space for other people. Every relationship is ruined because of this 5-letter word. I don't care what it was. Pride ruined it. And then lastly, lost his prosperity. All the money and the riches and the gold and the grandeur and the glamour gone because of pride. And you sitting there wondering, why is Pastor preaching this? Because God has too much for us to do to let our own overemphasis of ourselves make us lose our sanity, make us lose our community, and make us lose our prosperity. Chicago is losing right now. Losing young people day after day, night after night, because of this one word. I got to prove to you. He said it in there. I got to prove to you that I'm somebody. So you came from mine, I'm going to come for yours. And guess what? The cycle continues. Now you came from mine, now I'm going to come back for yours. And then I'm going to come for yours, then you come back for mine. And that's why it's shootings all over the city. And young men are dying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. We're losing our community, not just our relationships, interpersonal relationships. We're losing our community over pride. Churches shut down over pride. Mess happens over pride. Somebody didn't get the seat they wanted, left the church. Pride. Somebody had a funeral and the pastor and the members couldn't all show up and they left. That's pride. That's me, myself, and I. Everything is ruined because of pride. You lose your sanity, you lose your community, and you lose your prosperity. So what's the remedy? What's the remedy? What's the remedy? Well, if I had to leave you with that, that'll be a horrible way to close a sermon, wouldn't it? But verse 34, 35, here it is. At the end of the 7 years, I, Nebuchadnezzar, look to heaven. I was given my mind back. And I blessed the high God, thanking, glorifying God who lives forever. And this is what Nebuchadnezzar started saying. His sovereign rule lasts and lasts. His kingdom never declines or fails. Life on this earth doesn't add up to much, but God's heavenly army, his angels, keep everything going. No one can interrupt his work. No one can call his rule into question. So here are your three things, and I'm done because they all looking at me like you've been ready to go. Number one, check your glance. Number two, check your stance. Number three, God will help you advance. See, yeah, it's right there in the text. Nebuchadnezzar, after 7 years, what I'm trying to do is help all of us avoid the 7 years of losing our sanity, the 7 years of losing our community, and the 7 years of losing our prosperity. Can I help you skip a step? Just go down to verse 34, go down to verse 35, and check your glance. After Nebuchadnezzar stopped looking at himself, he looked up to God. He looked where he should have been looking in the first place. Look at somebody and say, check your glance. Lift up your head, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King, I feel like preaching, and the King of glory shall come in. Somebody asked the question, well, who is the King of glory? Somebody else responded, the Lord strong and mighty. Somebody need to check your glance. I double dog dare you for the rest of your life, live on a tilt. And no matter what life throws at you, just keep on looking up. I was on a phone call before I walked in service today, and they told me my aunt, who had a massive stroke at the top of May, is not doing well at all. In some ways, it looks like she's declining, and that would have really rocked me if I was living on a level plane, but I'm living on a tilt. And right after I got the update, I still turned on some music. And the song I chose to listen to, Brother Callahan, is There's Not a Friend Like the Lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one. None else can heal all my soul's diseases. No, not one. No, not one. Here's my part. Jesus knows all about my struggles, and he will guide until the day is done. There's not a friend. Tell somebody, look up and live. I know the doctor is suspicious about your body, but look up and live. I know you don't have everything you need, but look up and live. I know your house is crumbling and your marriage is shaky and your health is flaky, but I dare you. Tell somebody, check your glance, but also check your stance. You better know that you 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 know. If it had not been for the Lord on my side, I don't know where I'd be. Excuse me when I get loud. Excuse me when I start hollering. Excuse me when you hear music in my voice. I just start reflecting over the fact that everything I have, it came from God. I need y'all to help me preach this thing and look at somebody. Don't touch them. Just say, check your glance, check your stance, and watch God help you advance. You're going higher. There's more for you to do. You're more than a conqueror. This too shall pass. Watch God do more than you ever. Somebody praise him because you know where your help comes from. Somebody bless him because you know where your strength comes from. Somebody bless him because everything in that bank account, God did it. Everything going right into your life, God did it. And everything going wrong in your life, God's going to use it. And before your story's over, you're going to have one testimony. And we know that all things. Somebody throw your hands up and say, all things, house things, body things, youth things, evil things, crime things, church things, health things, financial things, broken things, destroyed things, heavy things, problematic things, all things work together. Say yes. Say yes. I know he's all right. Somebody drop that one finger in the chat. Somebody drop that one thing in the chat. Somebody point out. For the rest of this week, you ain't got to answer nobody. How did it happen? Who's keeping you? How you gonna pull through it? What about the hospital visit? What did the doctor say? I'm done. But my soul is happy. Check your glands. Check your stance, and God's gonna help you advance. It's the saddest, most wonderful scripture because it took 7 years for him to come back to himself. And after 7 years, he was that pride that it took 7 years to get it out. He was that prideful. Then all of a sudden, he realizes, oh, I guess this really is all about you, God. Oh, you really are the one running all of this. I'm the king, but you're the king of kings. That's what David realized. You know, David was a shepherd. Even David realized this. He's like, yeah, I'm a shepherd, but the Lord is. I know you're a mother, but God is your heavenly parent. I know you're a leader, but God is your leader. So you always position yourself in a place to look up. Somebody give God praise like you know it was all God. I said give God praise like it was all God. You couldn't explain it no other way but it was God. Can you just tell somebody, God did that, God did that, God did that, God did that, God did that. If you need Christ today, I need you to run quickly. I want you to come quickly because pride is the devil, but humility is of God. And I need you to know that God resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. To the humble. So I want you to humble yourself and come to Christ so that you can check your glance. You can check your, come on, help me, your stance. And so that God can help you advance. Only God could do that. You come in today, my brother, God bless you. God bless you. Isn't that amazing? He's the first person to join the church, in the church, since March 2020. Lord. The first person to come to Christ in fellowship. Bless you. But for those of you who are online, text us, email us, follow this brother. You don't have to wonder, well, am I going to be the only one? You're not the only one. Follow this brother who's in the building. He did it in the ship. Now you do it on the virtual ship. Come on to Christ. Admit you're a sinner. Humble yourself. Admit, I'm a sinner. I mess up. B, believe that Jesus Christ died for your sins and has risen from the dead. C, confess him as Lord of your life. You can't be prideful and do any of that. It takes humility to say, God, you're Lord. You lead me. You guide me. You direct me. You are my Lord. If you've done that today, email us, text us, and your new day has begun. My brother, we're going to connect at the end of service. Y'all, you can go back to your seat. We're going to connect before you leave. Can y'all show some love to my brother?
Devil is a liar. God is exalted. Never be defeated. Never be defeated. The devil is a liar. God is exalted.
Yes, sir.
Never be defeated.
Come on.
Never be defeated. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar.
God is exalted.
God is exalted.
Never be.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Come on, the devil is a liar.
The devil is a liar.
God is exalted.
God is exalted.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated. Reverend Jesse Jackson is here. God is
The devil is a liar.
God is exalted.
God is exalted.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated. Come on, let's say it again. Come on, open your mouth and say, the devil is a liar.
The devil is a liar.
God is exalted.
God is exalted.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Come on, the devil is a liar. You got to say it. God is exalted.
God is exalted.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Come on, the devil is a liar.
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 Come on, the devil is a liar.
The devil is a liar.
Open your mouth and say,
The devil is a liar.
open your mouth and say,
The devil is a liar.
I know he wants you to think
The devil is a liar.
that your future is over.
The devil is a liar.
I know he wants you to think
The devil is a liar.
that there's nothing else good gonna happen.
The devil is a liar.
But the devil is a liar.
The devil is a liar.
God is exalted.
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 And I will lift up my eyes
God is exalted.
to the hills
God is exalted.
because my help
God is exalted.
comes from the Lord.
God is exalted.
The devil is a liar.
The devil is a liar.
God is exalted.
God is exalted.
I'll never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
So don't get weary
Never be defeated.
in your well-doing.
Never be defeated.
You shall reap
Never be defeated.
if you think not.
Never be defeated.
Many are the afflictions
Never be defeated.
of the righteous,
Never be defeated.
but the Lord delivers them
Never be defeated.
out of them all.
Never be defeated.
I know
Never be defeated.
that I'ma never be defeated.
Never be defeated.
Be ye steadfast,
Never be defeated.
be unmovable,
Never be defeated.
always abounding
Never be defeated.
in the work of the Lord,
Never be defeated.
because your labor,
Never be defeated.
because your labor
Never be defeated.
is not in vain.
Never be defeated. Never be defeated.
Put on Can y'all do me a favor? I'm going to license you to be a preacher. Tell your neighbor the devil is defeated.
Devil is defeated.
The devil is defeated.
Devil is defeated.
is defeated. The devil is defeated. You can go to sleep tonight because the devil is defeated. I said the devil is defeated. I said the devil is defeated. Now look at somebody and say, God is exalted. 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 He's over every doctor. God is exalted. He's over every politician. God is exalted. He's over every pastor. God is exalted. He's over every leader. God is exalted. I said God is exalted. God is exalted. Be still and know that God is God. We got to go. We got to go. Get you a rock with it. Get you a... Listen, I don't want pride to cause you to lose your sanity, your community, and your prosperity. When we were in school, we used to say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Tell somebody, check your glance, check your stance, and God will help you advance. Listen, y'all, we have my co-pastor who's in the room. He's been a co-pastor of every pastor of Fellowship, and I would be remiss if we don't at least let him come on the pulpit. Y'all give it up for the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. Can you bring me a microphone? Bring me a mic. Love you, man. How you doing?
Proud of my pastor.
Oh, man. Thank you, man. Say it again. I don't think they heard.
Proud of my pastor.
Bless you.
I'm scared to use the word pride now. You're going to preach it out of me. I'm going to be in your presence.
Thank you, man. I'm honored to be in your presence.
God bless you real good.
And he's blessed you. Am I still an old man?
Yeah. 35 years ago, he's going 70 years old right now. As old as he can be. Old timey.
We love you, man.
Love you the most.
Yes, sir.
Love you, fellowship. Say nothing. It's too hard for God.
Too hard for God.
Nothing too hard for God. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of
fear no evil. For thou art with me. Thy grace is sufficient. You have the faith. God has the power. Put your hands together like you really mean that.
Thank you. And Bree is over there. I know that's who you really want to see. Y'all give it up for Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. We have friends here today all the way from Sacramento. Wave at us. They came all the way from California, Pastor. We have friends from Louisiana. And we have friends from Detroit. Reverend Moss. All right. Pastor Otis Moss. Come on out here, Reverend. Come on. Look. Y'all. This one of the preachingest preachers to ever preach. Come on out, Reverend. Come on out. We love you here. Y'all give it up for the Reverend Dr. Otis Moss III.
This is the preachingest brother I know. He has blessed us. Now come on, y'all can do it better than that for your pastor. He is a gift. And we thank God for Pastor Reginald Sharpe. And eyes have not seen, and ears have not yet heard what the glory of God will do through this man of God and through this wonderful and partner and team of Pastor Reginald and Sister Bree. And we are just so thankful for the future of Fellowship.
Thank you, man.
Tonight we get to shout. There's a basketball game in Milwaukee. Phoenix is playing the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm taking my pastor to the game tonight. That's all right. It's all right.
Thank you, Reverend. Yeah, we're going to the game. I got to get y'all out of here. Y'all, God is exalted and the devil is defeated. Can you give God praise if you were blessed today? Wow. You never know who's going to stop at the virtual ship. Everybody in the room, can you stand? Lord, have mercy. Woo. We've come a long way. We've come a long way. We've come a long way. Woo. We've come a long way. Y'all excuse me while I check my glance for a minute. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. God, we honor you. Help us not to ruin our lives and our relationships and our communities because of pride. I pray, oh God, that you would do a work in us to help us see ourselves so that we can check this massive disease that might be worse than the virus called pride. Help every young person. Help every older person. Help every Christian check it before it checks them. Help us all check ourselves from the pulpit to the back door, from every person from California to South Carolina. Help us check ourselves. And we thank you in advance that you're going to help us advance. And you give us another chance. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Let all of God's people say, it is so. And amen. Hey, listen, we giving it back to the youth now. Y'all make some noise for our youth. We giving it back to the youth. Judah Band.
We got to get up out of here, but y'all know we can't leave fellowship without having just a little bit of church. Yeah. Listen, let me tell you something. God knows exactly what you need when you need it. I was suffering from just sickness, and I had been diagnosed with cancer, and I wasn't feeling well. And one Sunday, God knew exactly what I needed to hear. And while I was sitting in church service that I wasn't supposed to be in, I just kept hearing God say, and I know that all things work together for my good. And I know that all things work together for my good. Hey! And he kept singing it to me over and over again, kind of got down in my spirit. And even though it did not look good, what I was going through, it did not feel good. God was wanting to remind me that it's working for your good. Wherever you are, just slap yourself on the chest and say, it's working for my good. Come on, say it one more time like we in the church sanctuary and say it's working for my good. Hey, hey. And I know that all things work together for my good. And I know that all things work together for my good. Help me say it. All things work together for my good. Working out for my good. All things work together for my good. Say it again, say it. I know that all things work together for my good. It's working out for my good. It looks like, feels like, know that it's working. It's for my good. Everybody clap those hands. Everybody clap those hands. Everybody clap those hands and say, it's for my good. Hear what the doctor's saying. It's for my good. Clap right there. Clap right there. Here we go. And how did you know? Jesus said it. Then I believe. I believe it. I dance on it, dance on it. And he worked it out. Worked it out. How did you know? Jesus said it. Said I believe. I believe it. I dance on it, dance on it. Dance on it. I dance on it, dance on it. Dance on it. Hey, I dance on it, dance on it. Dance on it. I dance on it, dance on it. Dance things work together for my good. And I know that all things work together for my good. Lift it up. And I know that all things work together for my good. It's working. And I know that all things work together for my good. Lift it up one more time and say, I know that all things work together. I know that. Hey! Everybody clap those hands. He did more, hey, than I ever expected. Leave it up. Hey, he did more than I ever expected. One more time, say he did more than I ever expected. He did more than I ever expected. Wait a minute right here, say he's not done yet. He's not done yet. He's not done yet. He's not done yet. Say, he's not done yet. He's not done yet. He's not done yet. Everybody clap those hands right there. He's not done yet. 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 We say sooner or later. Say, it will turn in my favor. Sooner or later. It will turn in my favor. Sooner or later. Turn in my favor. It's turning around for me. 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 Everybody clap those hands. Sooner or later, I really believe it. One more time, everybody clap those hands and say, everybody clap those hands right here. Wait a minute. Hey, it won't always be like this. You say it won't always be like this. Say it won't always be like this. It won't always be like this. 'Cause he's turning it. He's turning it in your favor. He is turning. Yes, he is turning it. Yes, he is. Everybody clap those.
May your struggles keep you near the cross. May your troubles show that you need God. May your battles end the way they should. May your bad days prove that God is good. May your whole life prove that God is good. Have a great week, Fellowship.
Thank you for worshiping with Fellowship Chicago on the virtual ship. We've always had a commitment of service, and during this season, we've increased our efforts to serve you better. We have made it easy for you to stay connected to get the complete resources you need. You can email us at info@fellowshipchicago.com. Call the church office Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 773-924-3232. and our social media on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. For real-time updates, you can text Fellowship Chicago to 55949. We have exciting and informative resources throughout the entire week designed specifically with you in mind. Go to fellowshipchicago.com for the full schedule. Until we dock again, thank you for your prayers and financial support of Fellowship Chicago. Remember, we are in this together.
Shock your spirit.